Today I decided to speak about quite interesting topic, bipolar relationship. How it's like to date someone with bipolar disorder. I have been married for 7 years with my wife and just we are raising a wonderful kid. So my darling wife, she kindly agreed to participate in today's episode and we're gonna ask each other 10 questions to clear up a bit what is bipolar relationship. I want to tell you in advance that we are dating 7 years and I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder only a year ago. So, and because of it, like first 6 years they were like untreated and just I had my manias, there were some depressions, and now you could just spot perhaps how bipolar disorder affected our relationship. Hey guys, hello there. Welcome to Bipolar Orbit. Bipolar Orbit, it's a channel about bipolar disorder and borderline personality disorder, and I have both of them. If you are not subscribed, yes, please press subscribe and thumbs up to more people can see this video. So just let's dive right in.
Hello, nice to meet you. My name is Elena. I'm Yuri's wife. I've been Yuri's wife for 7 years already. Just nice to meet you all. I hope that this interview my replies will help you a little bit to understand what it is like to have a bipolar partner.
Would you have started to date me if you had known that I was bipolar?
No, you think honestly, I wouldn't have. First of all, you should understand that I started going out with just a guy, an interesting guy, a very interesting guy who I fell madly in love with. And later on I understood that he had some problems, but it was much later. Only a year ago we found out that you had this diagnosis, and now I just live with you, and I'm your wife already. We have a family together, we have a son, and I love you. You are my closest person in this life, and I just cannot go away from this because it's my life, and you are the love of my life. This is it. But if 7 years ago I had known that you were bipolar, I think I wouldn't have agreed to go out with you.
Did anything change in our relationship after you had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder?
100%. 100%, and let me explain why. Like before I thought that my weird behavior it was result of just my personality, that it was me, natural me. But then just I discovered that it wasn't me. It just was such a huge effect of my disorder. Like before I thought that perhaps I'm bipolar disorder because I had some manias, depression, you know, like some highs and lows all the time, but I couldn't find a proper psychiatrist, and some guys, you know, who I found, they just said that you just in depression or something and prescribed me with wrong medicine. And when I found actually the right guy, he said that you are bipolar, you borderliner, and there are some ways to treat it. It's like psychotherapy and medicine, you know, and everything changed. Like literally I just get stability, like total stability and calmness in our relationship. And by the way, we have son now, and just I'm glad that I'm stable now, and just I like it.
Did you see from the very beginning that something was wrong with me?
No, I didn't. So on our first date, you had a sort of panic when you asked for water. You came, asked for water, for a bottle of water, and asked to go around the building with me, with my dog. So I felt there was something not quite normal about the situation, but I just thought perhaps you were a bit nervous. Only later I found out that you had some panics, but we didn't know what it was like. We just thought there were some panic attacks, that's all. And a month after we started our relationship, you had some sort of breakdown when you just were closed in your apartment and asked me not to come and not to just to speak to you, something like that. And then I realized that it was some sort of depression, I think. And then I realized that there was some big problem about it, but we didn't know what it was. And I thought that I could live with it. This is it.
What qualities do you appreciate the most in me?
In my partner, I appreciate that she's supportive, kind toward me, and just the main quality, it's like that I love her. I think without love it could be difficult to stay together or so. What is the most difficult thing for you with me?
I think the most complicated thing is that it's often unpredictable with you. You cannot just plan everything, because it can change with your mood swing, with your state. It can change, and you have to deal with it, and you have to get used to it. This is it. And perhaps another stuff that like for me difficult to get accommodated with. It's like. But I think it's more borderline stuff, not bipolar maybe. It's like your childish pose that you take when we have an argument or something like that. When you prefer to keep silent, like to go away, to stay on your own, not to discuss things. This can be really difficult, not just to blame other people, not yourself or something. It can be difficult because I need conversation, and you prefer just to behave like a silent child, like that. It's difficult.
There is a joke. I found the woman of my dreams. She said she was bi, and I was excited. Turns out she meant bipolar. Have you ever wanted to date a bipolar girl, and why?
I'm married now, and there's the only one right answer when your wife is asking you, like, you like that girl. It's necessary to answer, of course, no. Like, you like Natalie Portman? No. You want a one-night stand with Natalie Portman and Jennifer Lopez? No. Yes, because of this answer, like, my wife asked me like several days ago, and we were sleeping separately. I was sleeping on the sofa in a separate room. So without jokes, I thought about it before, like that bipolar girl could understand me better, that we could have like, wow, amazing sex, we could just do some creative stuff, but I'm not 20, and I'm not gonna date bipolar disorder. I gonna date girl, first of all, personality, and she has bipolar disorder, for instance, and the only one way, I think it's right way, she taking medicine, I don't wanna see her on her highs, on her lows, because of she untreated, it's too much, and it's theoretical questions, I have wife and I not gonna change her for anyone else. Doesn't matter who it be. But if I just gonna stay single, just picture it for a moment, right? And we just both bipolars, it could be really difficult for us, Of course, it's like supporting of each other. And It's necessary to check that your partner get medicine and so like this, and try not to trigger her by anything. No. Perhaps you know there are some guys whose fetish is like to date some chubby girls, to date black girls, like long legs girls or so. But perhaps someone has it, like to date girls with mental illness. I don't know. I'm not that fetish guy. It's really difficult, and it's like huge responsibility to stay with bipolar person. Just I understand it. And my answer: I wanna date someone with bipolar disorder? No, I don't wanna date girl with bipolar disorder.
Do you wish I were normal?
No, I don't. It's difficult for me to understand what normal can be in your case, because I know you as you are, and you are quite a normal guy, especially now when we know what's wrong with you and what kind of disorder you have. And when you are on medication, I can call it more or less normal. But you are a person, you are a personality, and without your disorder, I think you would be a totally different guy. So that's, I don't know, and I don't know if I would have fallen in love with you if you had been another person.
What do I do that triggers you the most?
It's not actually some phrases could turn me on mania or put me into depression. It could be some events like sleepless night, like huge stress, some pressure upon me. But now I'm on medicine and I'm staying stable. Your behavior, it could be annoying. You could be really annoying me or so, and I could be in a bad mood, could be angry or so. But it's like in any relationship, there's nothing special about it. So I think like your everyday behavior cannot provoke me on any crisis. So I have luck with it.
Were you afraid to have a baby from me?
No, I have never been afraid to have a baby with you. Actually, it was my dream to have a baby with you, of course. And I don't know why it never bothered me. But we didn't know that you had this disorder, first of all, when we conceived a baby, our son. But even without knowing it, so I don't know. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid.
How can you describe me as a father?
I think if you ask our son, he'll just say that you are like an awesome dad. For him, the best dad in the world. And I agree with him because I just cannot imagine like a better dad for our son than you are. You're just a very loving person. I think that you just always keep in mind your own childhood. I'm not going to speak about it here, but you try to be like a better parent than perhaps your parents were. So, like the best dad. You try to be the best dad and a better version of yourself, and you can see it. You can always see it. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't want to cry on camera. So you always do your best with our son. Of course, sometimes you have some trouble, like controlling your emotions, but never with your son, never. And that's why I know that I want to be with you.
How do you think? Is it boring to live with me now when you're on medication?
since I was prescribed with medicine, it became total boring. Total boredom, it's like 100%. Like before, how it was before, just when we just started to date each other. I was in rope jumping, skydiving, diving, body suspension, traveling, motor, ice, busing, and all the crazy stuff, kickboxing, and you name it. And what just we doing now? Just playing chess from time to time, right? But we have son now. It's huge responsibility, right? And I cannot act like before. You know, I think that it's just new stage of development, and to be honest, I cannot get used to it. You know, like it's boring. For me, it's like boring, really, but it's real life. Like welcome. I have some hobbies. Like I love reading so much. I love study English, for example, right? And now it's enough, you know, with son now, he's 2 years old. I think just if any parents just see this video, you know, they just agree with me that there are not so much time for any activities. Actually, you just put all your time, all your strengths in the baby. And we have no grannies to help us, no nannies. We're doing all the stuff on our own. So I think like it's just new stage of development, and then we'll see how it will be. But I think everything's okay. Just it's something that I was looking for such a long time, and now I get it, and I need to just get used to it. Thank you.
Do you afraid of my manias and depressions? And which of them you afraid more and why?
Yes, I am. It would be a lie to say that I'm not afraid of anything. You can just be a free bipolar person without any restrictions and medication and like treatment, anything. No, of course I'm afraid because I already passed through it, and I know what I passed through one of your manic episodes. I know what it was like, and I think I saw some of your depressions, maybe even though I was away at the time. But I am afraid, of course, because it ruins relationship, I can say, actually. Your partner cannot stay by your side for a long time. It's very difficult. You just have to take a decision to move away, to not to lose yourself, just to not to be hurt, something like that. And you have to put yourself on top of the situation and just move aside. And it's very difficult to do it because it's your closest person in life that you're speaking about. But it's like that, unfortunately. So I'm really afraid. And what I'm afraid of more is I was speaking about mania. Of course, when you're depressed, it would be selfish to say that I just moving away. No, it's not like that. If you are depressed, you just don't want to live, don't see any meaning in this life, and it's just very hard to stay by your side all the time and to be supportive all the time when you also need support. When I need support, I mean. I am afraid when you have these episodes. And of course, I'm more afraid of manic episodes than of depressions, because when you are on mania, so first it may seem really like fun, and you become all this productive person. You can do like huge repair works, you can earn lots of money, like work without stop, but you don't know how it would end, and you can just change to something else, really unpredictable stuff. And that's why it's really like it fears me a lot, frightens me a lot. At the same time, when you are on mania, it ends with psychosis, and this psychosis in your case leads to aggression, and this is really dangerous. That's why I'm more afraid of mania. And when you are depressive, it also frightens me, because when you're depressive, you just lose your will to live and just lie all the time, and it can end really badly, like suicide, for example. It can happen, I understand, but or you can just, of course, in this case, I am the sole provider in the family, because in this case you cannot work, you can do nothing, so it also frightens me, but I can deal with it. I can deal with it anyway, but that's why I can say that manias are like more frightening.
If you feel that you are on edge, do you tell me about it, or do you always struggle with it alone?
Yes, it's like quite interesting question. Yes, I tell you about that I feel that I'm on edge, I'm on the verge of something. I feel that my mania could start, or I just fell into depression. But there's one issue that you don't understand me. You don't hear me at all. It's like a huge problem for me. I told you from the very beginning of our relationship, after 1 year, that I'm just on the edge and just let's go rest somewhere or so. It's like I'm just going crazy, literally, and like no reaction, and it just ended up really bad. And not long ago, like I also said that I'm on edge, like I cannot already do my stuff. I'm just going down and I need help, just if I'm just gonna break down, I won't be able to go to work, do all the stuff, and just how it ended up. It's ended up in mental hospital. I need more help for you. Like I need you just listen me. I need you understand what I tell you, that it's really serious, and you just sometimes you think that I'm kidding. Even when I thought about suicide, I was serious, and my dog saved me. I called my friend and he said like, man, at least you have your dog, you need to care about. And that time I was really so afraid to commit something bad. It was really, really horrible. So, darling, just you don't know how to understand me. You cannot listen me. You think that I'm a kidding, that I'm not serious or so, but I'm actually serious about all my stuff.
Have you ever been afraid that I could commit suicide?
I have, twice. I have been afraid twice, and both times I was away from you. You just told me on the phone that you were on the verge of doing something like that. And both times I called our neighbor and tried to knock on the door and check up on you. Once I even called fire department or something like that, just to speak with you, just to come and check on you also. So it's not a very funny situation, actually. Like that. Other times when you said it, there were I think 5 during our relationship, 5 or 6 times when you said something like that. I didn't believe you, but it was like that. I didn't believe you. I didn't understand it, didn't realize that you could do it. But these two times I was really afraid.
What is better for me to do when you are manic or depressive?
Interesting. When I'm manic, the best thing you can do, it's to contact my psychiatrist. And you will see already what he gonna say about it. Perhaps he gonna prescribe me with something. And when I'm depressive, like, not to touch me. Because when I'm fell into depression, you just start to demand like what, how, wow, 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 blah, 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 blah. And I have only one thought in my mind, like, get the away out of me. When I tell you just leave me alone, please leave me alone. Like, I see this stuff in movies a lot, when like bipolar partner in mania or so, like it's necessary to take fun together or you can enjoy activities, but it's movies, you know, it's real life, it could end up really bad.
Does psychotherapy helps me and how?
Yes, it does a great deal, actually. I think that we have a huge improvement in our life after your doctor, God bless him, like came to our life, and like after you started working on your problems. Why? Because you now you can control, you can analyze what is going on with you, and you can always, like in the middle of something, when you understand that something is going on with you, that there is some change in your current mood or something like that, you can always say stop. No, I need to make a pause. I need to sit down. I need to write it down. I need to like do an exercise on that. I need to think on that. I need to meditate. I need to do something about it. And before it was like that. If there was something like a change of mood, you just went on. You just went on and you couldn't stop. And it was a disaster. Like that. Now you can control yourself more or less. I cannot say that it's always a success, but at least I understand that you can do it.
How do you think? Can a bipolar person who is on a suitable medication and has been stable for a long time without any mania or depression be called not bipolar, and why?
No, definitely no, because bipolar disorder, it's not like being stable or so have highs and lows. It's about different brain chemistry, you know. It's like with addiction. If alcoholic staying lifelong sober, he not gonna become like non-alcoholic. He just sober alcoholic, you know, addiction inside, and it's progressing, you know. And bipolar disorder also progressing inside. Just medicine like put it down, you know, you just become calm, stable, but you are still bipolar. I think that person with bipolar disorder has a huge background of it, you know, like before prescribed medicine, you know, and it affected somehow your behavior, your way of thinking, something. And also, just as I said, it's different brain chemistry. Of course, just person with different brain chemistry gonna be different, you know. It could be so similar to just others, so-called normal people, but bipolar person is different. I think that no, it's impossible to call person who is stable that he or she is not bipolar.
Are you ashamed of my disorders?
Now, no. When I got news of it, I was ashamed at the very beginning, I can say, because you know, first of all, you should understand that we live in Russia, and in Russia, with the background, you know that when a person has some kind of mental disorder, as we say, it's always like a taboo for like if you live with a person that everybody thinks it's like a psycho person or something like that, then you're a psycho, you're mad too. How can you live with a guy like that? And I was raised like that, so that like persons with any abnormalities, anything that is not normal. It's like not good enough, like that. After talking online with lots of people living with the disorder, I realized that they were okay and they were fine, and they had families, they had kids. There are lots of women with several kids who suffer from bipolar disorder, live with it, and it's okay, like that. Of course, they have their ups and downs, but they have loving families, supportive families, and I realized that there are lots of bipolar people among celebrity people, among famous people, among some historical figures, like that, and it was like a new world for me, actually. So now I understand that there are no perfect people in the world. Actually, all people have some kind of state or disorder. We just don't know about it. They just don't address the right specialist, the right doctor. So like that. And now I'm completely not ashamed. And you know that I made a post on my social networks that my husband has this disorder, and that he has a YouTube channel, and I'm really proud of him and of what he is doing right now. So like that, I'm proud of you.
Will you ever tell your son that you are bipolar?
Yes, definitely I'll tell my son, and now just I not ready to answer this question because I have no right words, right? That I gonna tell you, that I gonna tell this, but later I gonna tell all the different stuff. I need to think about it very carefully. Need to choose the age when it's necessary to be told, like think about it. Perhaps, I don't know, in some countries could be like bad attention to just a kid, right? Because his parents like mentally ill, like one of his parents, like, or something, some bullying, or I don't know, it's necessary to think about it. But of course my son will ask me one day, why you taking that medicine, can I take it, what it's for, and so on. And of course I tell him that just daddy has this disorder, and gonna explain to him what is it, and like this.
What advice can you give to bipolar person's partner?
I didn't see it coming. Actually. Okay, so what can I advise to a partner of a bipolar person? To have lots of love. First of all, to understand that you love your partner, like truly love your partner, like that it's true love. Because without true love, there wouldn't be any respect, any strength, like to deal with your partner's ups and downs, highs and lows. So like that. The second type of love that you should have is the love for yourself. You should never forget about yourself in this relationship, because it takes lots of strength, lots of your resources, inner resources, because you need to be really supportive. Only a person loving himself or herself can really love another person, like deeply, sincerely, and truly. And only this person can like give anything to that his partner needs. Like the main stuff is that if you don't love yourself, any relationship will be doomed.
And finally, the last question. What advice can you give to a bipolar person in relationship?
First of all, find right therapist. It could be really challenging because I just changed several of them and they claimed that they're really good in private clinics or so, and by reviews they were good, but they weren't specialists about bipolar disorder, you know. And just one friend of mine, he suggested me just my doctor, current doctor. He's so experienced guy and I had luck, you know, with him. You know, it's really cool that I met him. He diagnosed me correctly, you know, and like, don't afraid to look for help. Really, that's so important. And don't afraid to take medicine. I also thought that with every pill, just part of Van Gogh is dying in me, that just I cannot be so creative as I was before and so. But it's a real life. It's not some pink glasses that I just put on me with bipolar disorder. The real world, it's like this, with not only bright colors or dark colors. There are a lot of between, you know, and just get used to live in this world with medicine. My advice that helped like me in person in my relationship, the best decision was to find right psychiatrist, you know, do therapy and enjoy your life. Like this. Thank you. So guys, it was our video. We made it together with my darling wife. So I hope that we just cleared up a bit what bipolar relationship is like and what could help you or ruin your relationship. So like this, just love each other and subscribe to this channel, press thumbs up, share it with your friends or someone who needs this video. Just hope you enjoy it. See you. Bye bye.